This is hashtag Tap In Podcast. Tap in. This is Tap In. Yeah. This is the place where you about to tap in. Wanna know what's hot? You gotta tap in. You know who's dope in the city? Gotta tap in. This is Young Woody's hashtag Tap In Podcast. Yo. This is your boy, Young Woody, and this is hashtag Tap In. And yo, today, hey man, I'm grateful, and I'm actually humble today, man. Today's pretty cool, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. This guy sitting right here to my right, I'm gonna talk about all the things he do musically. We're gonna talk about all that, cause this dope ass guy right here. But I happen to know this guy because I'm gonna start the show off like this, man. This man just happens to be, if I'm not mistaken, he is your uncle, correct? And I go glad, man. I am a Winner Circle vet. I am one of the guys that helped start it, and the guy that I'm speaking of right now was one of the contributors that helped us get Winner Circle to what it was. And then shout out to all the track stars out there on guard. Like, shout out and RIP to my guy Fat Boy. I'm gonna start the show off like that. Because, man, when it came to what we do in the city, this man had no biases. This man literally would come turn up. His team would come turn up. They would show mad love. They never tripped about spending the money. They showed they love, they hustled, and they showed a conglomerate, especially on the north side of Austin. But they also shows love to the entire city. And to know that you are a product of that, I'm going to start this interview off by saying RIP to Fat Boy, Donald, you know what I'm saying? It's all love over here, bro. That's a Winner Circle love sitting out. But to you, man, how does it, and I'm going to start the interview off like that. But first, let me get it off. I got Fetti Knox in the building. So y'all show definitely some hashtag love, hashtag Tap In Love. But my first question is, bro, how does it feel being a product of that legacy, knowing how hard he pushed in it?
Man, it feels crazy, man. It's like being so young when I got involved. Mm-hmm. You know, I seen a lot. I seen more than most people would probably expect, to be honest.
Yeah, because you were there.
Yeah.
You were there. You were there.
I was there when I wasn't even supposed to be in it.
Facts.
The clubs wasn't letting me into that age. And if they did, they was marking up their hands and whatnot. So, man, it's crazy. It's like, of course, everybody's kind of grown and moved in different directions since then. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, wherever they went, it'll always root back. And people will know, like, oh, track runners, and it ties back in some way from there to the fraternity to, Winner Circle. So it's a lot of that, man. It's like it's branched out and you still feel connected, though.
And it's still love.
Yeah, it's still love, for sure.
And let me ask, those principles that he stood on, I could tell they wasn't just something he built himself. That is more like something that's family. That's something that y'all, as a family, carry because of the people around him. You guys all kind of had the same stature. It wasn't about the beefs or nothing crazy. It was about, bro, we rock together, we getting money, and guess what? If you trying to get money, hey, not only can we show you how to get money, we can put you on a path to get money and then help you along the way to make sure, hey, yeah, you fumbled the bag on that. Bring that back, do it this way. That's how they carried themselves.
Yeah.
Both within they clique and anybody they fucked with outside of that, bro. It was like it's all that love, man. And like I said, man, I felt it. So, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely RIP to Fat Boy, man. That's something, man, that hurt. He should still be here.
Yeah. He be in the club supporting everybody from the
Facts.
He was there till that club closed down, man, when the lights came on, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, and he would introduce, oh, you don't know so-and-so? He was like, it's like everybody knew him, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy.
Oh, yeah, he was definitely family to the city, man, so I would never not take that. But now, gotta talk to Fetti Knox about Fetti Knox. So, as a producer, bro, what is the one thing that you get as gratification doing the type of production that you do?
It's a lot of self-gratification, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. you know, I started it for me and I do it for me still. So, you know, even at the point where I'm at, where you know I've set up shop and I'm selling beats to other artists and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, no matter what another individual might look at me and think,
Mm-hmm.
as far as where I'm at skill wise,
Mm-hmm.
I always still feel like a newbie, and it's good to be that way because you always want to be teachable. You want to soak up game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Um, for instance, I could be in the same room as a producer, and I know, you know, annually I've sold more, I make more money than them. But that doesn't mean anything. None of that matters. I'm gonna still keep my lips sealed and see what they're coming with, what they're talking about, because they still have something valuable to teach me. They do things in a different way. You know what I'm saying? This is an art form. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to something that's an art form, there's so many ways that you can do one thing. So just because I know how to do it,
that don't mean you know how to do it his way.
that don't mean I know how to do it.
Y'all still get to the same point, but
Exactly.
you don't know how to do it his way or his way. Or his, that is a fact. That is a fact. We had a whole conversation about that. Just, hey, I do it this way. I do it this way. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why you do it this way? That's real talk. Okay, so with that being said, what is the one thing since you've been in this journey that you can say, you know, truthfully, is like, I'm going to always do what I do, but this part of the game I could do without. What is that? What is that for you?
So what do you mean by that? Like what I could do without?
I'll give you an example. As an artist, we have to work with producers. We have to work with engineers. We have to work with club promoters. We got to work with DJs. We got to work with all these different types of entities to move what we do. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it might be this part or that part within what I do that I could really do without, but I still got to do it. You feel what I'm saying?
Like you don't care for it. Like,
don't care. Yeah, right. Like I can give you an example. I'll give you a prime example. You got your own studio. You know, you got your studio. You got the team of people you work with, right? So you could be sitting in the studio right now. Like one of the things I can't stand for me personally, being an engineer, I can't stand bullshit artists. What I mean by bullshit artists, I'm not talking about the people who are not talented. I'm talking about the people who have the talent but waste my time. I could do without those guys.
Hey.
You feel me? But see, I'm open about it. Feel me? I'm not even tripping up anybody can feel any type of way they want to feel, but I personally can do without it. You feel what I'm saying? So as a person who produces the magnitude that you do, like people don't understand. Like if y'all don't get what I'm saying, I know for a fact Fetti Knox is not only a producer that produces for himself and the love of it, but I also know for a fact Fetti Knox is a guy that actually produces for other artists so they can maximize what they do. What do I mean by that? You will produce a track and not know what you want to do with it. You might just add it to the vault, meaning like, oh, you add it to the list of songs for sale, and another artist can come in and find madly in love with that damn song, that beat, and you like, bet, cool, he make the sale, but then also you'll be there to assist him to make that bitch better. Like what he do with it, make it better. Like you actually know it's still business within it, but your passion and your love came along with it. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. So therefore, as a person who understands that, what is the one thing for somebody who's so dedicated to it? What is the one thing that's just like, man, I could do without that shit. Like, man, I wish that shit was gone, bro.
All right, so now that I better understand your question, man, it's really people who have like an entitled mindset.
Okay.
You feel me? Like, when you have an entitled mindset, I've seen people fumble opportunities that like I wish I would have had simply because they entitled and they feel like, oh, I don't gotta do that, or why should I have to do this? You know what I'm saying?
I understand.
And that's like, bro, you got somebody, you know, like I've seen artists who got people paying away from them. You feel me? They're paying for their time, they're paying for the producer to be there and work with them, and then they can't even write a fucking song and come in there and have their song written. They want to punch in and they're now wasting more time because they're not prepared. You know what I'm saying? Or they have that mentality where they think like, oh, you know,
everybody's supposed to be kissing their ass, but they ain't put the work in to be there.
Yeah, and it's like you think we want to be here 10 hours in a day working on the chorus and half this verse?
Hell no.
Or you think we want to be here 10 hours in a day maximizing that time and maybe getting out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 songs? But you got an entitled mindset where this dude baby and you paying your way. And
don't realize how much money he's wasting because you bullshit.
You're not taking advantage of that opportunity in the right way. You know what I'm saying? You just feel like you prime time and you know what I'm saying, you cool. And with that, you know, at the same time they rather look the part than be it. You know what I'm saying?
Makes
and
sense.
that goes against that shit where people say it's not on me, it's in me. You feel me?
Facts.
It's like, nah, a lot of y'all, it's on y'all, but it's not in y'all.
Facts.
It's on y'all, but it's not in y'all.
Facts. That is a fact. Because I can tell y'all, this shit in us.
Yeah.
We do this shit. I can wake up in the morning, do this. I can, before I go to sleep, I can do this. It doesn't matter. I can do this. This is what we do. All right. So now let's kind of turn the page. Fetti Knox, the name Fetti Knox, bro. Where did that come from?
Man, that came from my older brother, man. You know, shout out Braylon Roberts. That's my big brother. You know, and he used to do graphics in the city. You know, Sky League graphics and rocking now a lot of stuff. But just talking to him about it, and when I was trying to think of a good name, he was just like giving me some game. He was like, man, you don't want it to come up, you know, on Google and closely to anybody. You know, you want to be the first pop-up search and stuff like that. And but I still wanted the name to be true to me. So I was like, you know, I'm definitely trying to make this a career, so it's gonna be money involved, and you know, so I was thinking of different slang terms for money.
Okay,
you know
so
what I'm
that's the
saying?
Fetti.
That's where the Fetti came in.
Got you. And
And
it
then-
beats the Knox. Okay,
Yeah,
I got you. I
Knox.
got you.
I was like, you know, I want my beats to hit. I really want them to hit, but I didn't want to spell it like knock, like knocking. So I just put a little flavor on it, put the X, Knox, Knox. So
Got
Fetti
you.
Knox.
Got you. Okay. That's what's up. So getting money and it beat, ain't it right?
Yeah,
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
It's funny as that sounds. That is a very simple explanation, but it makes perfect fucking sense. It makes perfect fucking sense.
But it's still at the same time when you connect it, it draws that question. A lot of people ask it. They like, damn, how'd you come up with that name? It got a nice ring to it. You feel me? So it did have a lot of. It was a simple process, but you know, it took a lot of thought.
Makes sense. Makes sense. All right, so let me ask this, bro. In the scale of production, because this man is, like I said, I could talk about his rap stuff in a minute because this man got bars. This man can rap. This man can rap very well. But when we talk about Fetti Knox, as of right now, that's more from a production standpoint. Not saying you can't rap, but the known is from what you do on them pads, what you do with them keys, what you do in them sequences. My question is, bro, being a hip hop producer, are there other genres that you have produced, and or are there other genres that you would like to go further in outside of hip hop because hip hop has been your main stomping grounds?
Yeah, like one of the things that someone put me on real recently, I had never heard of it. You can let me know if you heard of it, but it's called like hyper pop.
It's a cross mix between pop, EDM, and it's pop, EDM, and it's one other thing, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And it goes from like they're taking pop. It's almost like they took mashups.
Yeah.
And it's like you got mashups with an EDM twist to it, and it's like pop. It's something. I keep forgetting that other genre that they mixed with it, but it's kind of a combination of the three. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I had a artist come to me, and he already knew, you know, for the majority what type of beats I make, because you know my site's accessible to everyone. You can go in there and see what I'm cooking up, but just because I'll post stuff like that on my site, it don't mean I can't do anything. I'm open to doing whatever, even if it was country. Like you know what I mean? I'm a scientist. I like experimenting with the sound. Period. It doesn't matter, you know, what the genre is. I'd rather give it no labels. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
It's
It's
art
just music,
yeah. So, but hyperpop was something I did recently with an artist, and I didn't know what he was talking about. So he was sending me beats, and I just, you know, digest them, listening to them, listening to what's going on. You feel me? I'm breaking it down. And then, you know, I'm like, okay, so then I start exploring my library banks and stuff like that, see what sounds I got. And I'm, you know, and of course, I don't try to follow it to the T. I still want it to be me, so I'm putting my own little twists and things like that. And
oh man, don't ever. I tell anybody this: when it comes to production, it's not about that you doing it the same way. Because what people don't understand is, let me explain this to all my tap-in viewers. It's something that I'm going to give y'all the producer inside. Y'all ready? When it deals with production, it's never an insult in producers to learn what a producer did before you. It's never wrong. Because once you learned what they did, you understand the genre. Then once you understand the genre between 3 to 4 to 5 people that's in it that knows what they're doing, and it's easy to emulate after you've practiced it enough, then you can then take that and say, you know what, I could do without this, I could do without that, to keep it authentic to what they're doing. I want to add, I still want to keep these elements, but I want to do it like this.
Exactly.
And that's what he's talking about. He heard, he studied, he listened, he digested, and he said, all right, let me do this. Okay, this is what they're doing here. This is the tempo. Okay, they're rocking it like this. They're doing beats like this. But this can be done like this though too.
It's like you want to see what's in the box, but still think outside of it. So
Facts.
you gotta,
Yeah. So and that's what he's talking about, you guys. And I like to. And if like I said, on hashtag tap in, I like to give my people the game. So if I don't want them to miss none of this because what you're giving them is better than jewels. This is straight gold out the mine. Like this is what it is, bro. Like he's telling you, keep an open mind. Don't stay boxed in because there's so much out there. You'll miss something, and you'll miss it thinking, let's go back to that entitledness. Oh, I'm great over here. But you just let a gold mine slip right from up under you because you weren't open-minded enough to think and understand what was going on around you. And that's the difference between what some guys do and what the real guys do. And this is why he's sitting in that chair. You feel me? So, with that being said, within the hyperpop, which is I kind of new, I'm actually glad to know you into that, is there something you haven't done that you still want to do, you just haven't gotten around to doing it? Meaning with any like long-term goal, like something style, like me personally, I'll give you an example. Me personally, the movie Love Jones. Okay. I want to do an entire album to what Lorenz Tate did in that poem hall, the most famous one that he did when he was basically he did the I am the shit girl and I'm digging you like a flame. When he was talking, basically he had spoken word he was gonna do, but he had just talked to me along, and then he went up there and did what he did. I want to do an entire project and take that entire spoken word he did, and I want to chop it up and take about anywhere from 12 to 13 songs and use that throughout, and then use those parts that he did as that basically is like a
segue to the next one.
Basically, so you would hear the first one, and then you hear the song, and then you hear the second one into the song, and then by the time you get to the end, you like, damn, he really broke down Darius Love Hall's. You know what I'm saying? Like that, like, but it'll be more so of it's R&B type, love type with the hip hop twist, but having it smooth out throughout. Yeah, that's something I really want to do.
That's hard.
So it's like that's what I'm saying. Is there something in this game, or just something in production that you want to do that you haven't done yet, but you still in the back of your mind, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, here eventually, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I want to, work with artist on a complete project, not just, I got a song or two on there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, because
other than myself, of course, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I want to be challenged, and I also want to challenge, them as well, as far as coming up with a project. Because if I'm gonna do it, like, it's not gonna be just, he bought a couple beats, and it's not a transaction. I don't give a damn. Like, the money's there on a business aspect, but like, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, when you've been given the receipts and we getting the work, we going for gold, period. You know what I'm saying? So that's when the dive and deep happens.
When I say I understand that notion, the next two projects coming from me, Passion Tapes, The Road to Inferno and Inferno. Those are my next patterns that I'm going for. Crook, Crook, the producer here in Austin, I gave him the Inferno series because he told me the exact same statement you just said. Because he said he's worked with everyone across the city, a lot of people. He said, but no one has trusted him to do an entire project. And I was like, you want one? And he looked at me like, what the fuck you talking about? I was like, do you want one? I looked at him, do you sit in the same studio? You want one? He was like, yeah. I was like, Inferno's yours. And he looked at me and I was like, he said, you're serious? I said, yeah. I said, I won't buy, I won't go to no one else. Inferno's yours.
Yeah. I feel like that truly shows like what a producer's really capable of when he can, actually bring the whole project. I mean, look at like Khaled, you know what I'm saying? Like, we actually bring the whole project together.
See, Khaled is different for me, and I'll tell you why. It's one thing if Khaled would do that with just Wayne, or just A$AP Rocky, or just Ace Hood. He has an entire album of. That's why I'm more so impressed with Khaled, is that he can make a cohesive album that makes sense, but it's all features. Literally the whole project is features.
So they're more like Hit Boy and Metro there.
Yeah, because Metro did what he did with not Metro Hit Boy, what he did with Nas.
Yeah.
He did a full project with it, and that's more so what you talking about, where it's it ain't just we got a concept in mind, we got this in mind, and we're going within this, not to say this pocket, but this is the field we're going for. So I know I got this spectrum to work with. I can say, hey, no, I don't like that. Okay, cool, boom, boom. Okay, I'm like, all right, bet. You get within the flow of what's going on, and then because you guys are working with, okay, what are you talking about? Okay, this is what this song is about. Okay, this is the you know what? This song doesn't need this. Okay, I already hear it. Boom, so you can take that same beat, come back up, add it, take this out, add this out. And then he's over here writing to the stems, the basic one that you made for him. And then you turn around, when he hear that second, it's like, oh, what made you do that? Bro, I just heard it. I heard what you spit, so it makes you change it.
It's a lot. It's more fun when you work, like, even within my production team, Raw with the Dogs, like, having Chef there, and it's like I'll do something and then step away from it, and then like maybe days or weeks later, so I come back and he's like, oh, check out what I did. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's really dope when you can hear somebody kind of take, something that you've been working on and just
bring it up to another level that you didn't think it was there.
Yeah, because when you trust your partners like that, when you trust the people that you're working with on a project like that, it feels good not to be involved. You know what I'm saying? It felt good to have, like, I ain't had nothing to do with that, but that took it to another level right there. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly the feeling. When I say I've experienced that feeling, I get it. I get it a whole lot. Speaking of Raw with the Dog, how did that come about?
Man, that came about, after like doing the Fetti Knox thing and selling beats for a while. I had been, working with Chef, you know what I'm saying, a lot. Like, we was just cooking up, making some heat, man, like just whipping up, just having a good time. You know what I'm saying? It was like bonding too at the same time, getting to know each other more. You know what I'm saying? We were both like in the headspace of like, let's do some business together, and doing a production team. And he wanted to call us Fat Boy Fresh, and I'm proud. Proud fat big nigga, but man, nah. I feel that. I'm good on that. I don't want to go by that. And he, Chef, he be straightforward, and he like to go. You know what I'm saying? He don't like being hard. So he was like, "You got a better name?" I was like, "Nah, I ain't had none." He was like, "Well, that's what we're going by." I was like, "Fuck." So I felt the crunch time. I was like, "I gotta come up with something quick."
Cause I ain't feeling this name.
Yeah, I gotta come up with something quick. And I think I was writing a rap or something. I said something about Raw with the Dog in the bar, and I didn't even finish the rap. The name was so good. I just stopped right there, and I was like, it just rolled up to me, Raw with the Dog. And then I broke it down, and I was like, I'm not gonna do, just like I did with the Knox and that. I'm not gonna spell it like Knox. I'm gonna put instead of with, I'm gonna with the, like WITDA, just, you know what I'm saying, like the slang. And then I opened up my graphic software, started making a logo, and it took a few minutes, and I was like, man, I looked at it for a little bit, just kept saying the name in my head. I was like, damn, that looked good. You know what I'm saying? When the simplicity takes over and it looks great, very simple, I love that. So I sent it to Chef. I said, hey man, what you think about this right here? And he was like, that's hard. You know what I'm saying? He was like, because like make this change, like, had me make a little changes to the logo and stuff, and I did it. He was like, I like that. I said, this is what I want to go by. I want to go by Fat Boy. He was like, that's a bet.
He's like, well, proud big nigga, but no. He said, no.
And I like it. I like it too because, the name, it's not like, it doesn't really give any indication on how many people are involved. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
it's just the name of the team.
Yeah.
And then you got to come in
with
here
the dog. You know what I'm saying? You could. And because of that, it's like it's not so personal to where it's like it's a movement by default. Everybody can feel like that. Everybody can feel like they're raw with the dog. You know what I'm saying?
And by the way, when he say dog, we talking about DAWs, basically the recording programs that we either making beats, producing, and or doing video. Basically your workstations, bro. That's what a DAW is. Just giving y'all heads up on the hip hop side.
Nah, for real. A lot of people don't ask me like, what is that? What is a DAW?
No, it's a DAW. It's basically, in other words, Pro Tools, Adobe, FL Studio, any workstation thing that you need.
What you make videos in.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Adobe Pro. Yeah. That's what I use, Adobe Premiere Pro.
All that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. So, man, where can the people, Sky, break it down. So, where can the people follow you? If they want to find you, if they want to be able to purchase some of your tracks, where can they follow you? Give me social media and websites.
So for Fetti Knox, it's just at Fetti Knox the Fox, and it's the @ FETTI KNOX THA at Fetti Knox the Fox. I got my website fettyknox.net.
Okay.
And just on every social media from Facebook to Twitter.
It's all Fetti Knox on there, or
it's all Fetti Knox the Fox.
Okay. And that's your artist page. So you don't want to draw people to your personal page. You want
I'd rather them follow that page because specifically like if you have been following it, if you already know, you probably notice like I don't do a lot of like putting me on there. I don't put my face.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather the art be right in front. You know what I'm saying? There's no biases, you know what I'm saying? You don't gotta look at me, you don't gotta judge me, think I'm handsome, cute, ugly, I don't care.
Judge the art. Yeah, just the art.
And then for the production team, Raw with the Dog, you know what I'm saying? RAWWITDA all together, and then DAW all together at Raw with the Dog. And that consists of me, Chef, Tom and Track, you know what I mean? And it is crazy, man, because like those who know, I know you know, right? I just on an individual standpoint, like Tom and Track alone, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Boy, Raw. Like let's be clear. Let's be clear. There is no part of this where you're never gonna hear me say Raw with the Dog. That team is cold. Let's be clear. Let me be clear. Every producer on that team can make you a banger. There is no left or right with it. I'm not. He ain't sitting there for no reason, y'all. It ain't just cause I know. It ain't just cause I know him, bro. Like that team, bro. So artists, there's a reason why this producer's sitting here. You need to tap in. You feel me? Because them boys is serious. They will take your sound from they like me. These guys are like me. They will take your sound and what you think you great. Let's get back to that entitledness. Mm-hmm. I'll make you think what you think, and then give you what you really think. And you'll see the difference between the work that we tell you to do and what you thought you've already done. There's a difference.
And that's the thing, it's like, I'm excited when you ask like what I want to do. It's not just so much just myself, like I'm really excited for Raw the Dog as a team to be able to work on someone's project. You know what I'm saying? Because I know because you got Chef mixing the vocals, you feel me? Like he's basically the Dr. Dre of Boston. You got me and Ty whipping up on the beach and just like it's got to be fail proof. It's too much talent that you're gonna be involved with. That's gonna make sure it's on time. And we're gonna talk about everything from when we're recording, how you sound as an artist. Like, we're looking to open up our site and offer packages where we can really give artists the full spectrum of everything and break down from a PR perspective how they're looking as an artist. They'll have consultations.
Bro, do you know what that package is? 99% of them is called artist development, and 99% of them don't do it. That's why they need it. 90% of them need it, bro. So, that's facts.
And the thing is like, it's all business. A lot of people they just assume because your love is there for what you do that you just want to open up and do it free. But that free don't move shit. It just don't. Period. You feel me? And if you're not gonna go broke on yourself, it's like, what are you telling me? All you telling me is
that you ain't finna take the sacrifice. You literally don't want us. You don't want to invest in yourself. You want somebody else to invest their time and money into you, and then for what? No, until you invested in yourself. Don't ask me to invest.
You should be chasing your dream because you're trying to get away from the circumstances of what your life is today.
Facts.
And if you're scared to put your money that you have today on yourself to get away from these circumstances today, then that tells you comfortable where you at.
And I'm not.
I'm not.
And I'm not.
You can't blame. You can't.
Okay, and I'm not. Man, well, Jazz, I'm gonna tell you, like I tell everybody who sits in that chair, bro. Anybody that's been here, when you got something to push, when you're doing anything you're doing in the city, you got a media home. I'm here for the city. I will never not say, pull up.
Facts.
I'm gonna tell you like I tell everybody else. This is what time I'm available. Set it up, and we gonna work.
Right.
All right, and I got something else that I'm working on. That me and you gonna chop it up with once we finish this up, and it's about to we about to turn up another notch. So hashtag tap in. This is my guy, Fetti Knox, and this is hashtag tap in, and we out. Man, appreciate that, family. This is hashtag tap in podcast.